Hello everyone. Our next topic of the solution is colligative property, right? The properties which depend on the number of solute particles and not on the nature of the particle. That is, solute particle के nature पे depend नहीं करता है, depends on the number of solute particles. These properties are known as colligative properties. Colligative properties are of four types. First, relative lowering of vapor pressure of solvent. Second, elevation in boiling point of solvent. Third, depression in freezing point of solvent. And relative lowering of vapor pressure and lower pressure, elevation of boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure are colligative properties because it depends on the number of solute present in the solution. If we increase the amount of solute in the solution, then vapor pressure and freezing point will decrease and boiling point and osmotic pressure will increases. Study the first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of solvent in a solution is less than vapor pressure of solvent, pure solvent, right? According to Raoult's law, this part we already studied in Raoult's law, right? P1 is directly proportional to X1, where P1 is the partial vapor pressure of solution, P1 naught is vapor pressure of pure solvent, and X1 is the mole fraction of solvent. Now, जो lowering होता है जितना, that will find out, पहले से जितना कम हुआ तो P1 नॉट माइनस P1, that is lowering vapor pressure जो है, अगर मेजर करना है तो वंस यहाँ पे भी हमको सब्ट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा. So we'll get 1 minus x1. You know x1 plus x2, mole fraction of solution is equals to 1. So 1 minus x1 is what? X2. So delta P1 is equals to P1 naught x2, where x2 is mole fraction of solute. Thus relative lowering of vapor pressure is equals to mole fraction of solute present in the solution, right? यही यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है, relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. Now to find the, अगर यही फॉर्मूला से हमको फाइंड करना है मोलर मास या किसी का मास सॉल्यूट या सॉल्वेंट का, देन हमारा इक्वेशन है x2. x2 is what? n2 upon n1 plus n2. Now here n2 is very less than n1. So in a denominator we will neglect n2. Our equation will be n2 upon n1, where n is what? Mass upon मोलर मास. तो ये वैल्यू रख के हम मॉलिक्यूलर मास ऑफ सॉल्यूट या सॉल्वेंट या तो मास ऑफ सॉल्यूट या सॉल्वेंट फाइंड कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी इज एलिवेशन ऑफ बॉइलिंग पॉइंट. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय बॉइलिंग पॉइंट? बॉइलिंग पॉइंट मीन्स द टेम्परेचर एट विच द वेपर प्रेशर ऑफ अ सॉल्वेंट इज इक्वल्स टू 1 एटमॉस्फेयर, राइट? कोई भी, एंड इट इज ए वेरी मच कैरेक्टरिस्टिक, हर एक कंपाउंड का डेफिनेट बॉइलिंग पॉइंट होता है. तो अगर हम ग्राफ प्लॉट करते, इफ यू प्लॉट द ग्राफ वेपर प्रेशर वर्सेस टेम्परेचर, तो सॉल्वेंट का क्योंकि सिंगल मॉलिक्यूल्स है जल्दी से 1 एटमॉस्फेयर पे आ जाएगा. सो विल गेट अ ग्राफ हियर. दिस टेम्परेचर इज नोन एज T naught B. Now if we form a solution of that solvent, then what will happen? Depending upon the number of particles present in the solute, there will be increase in the boiling point. Why? Because less vapors are produced, so more temperature is required to reach 1 atmosphere, right? And so we'll get here TB. यहाँ पे हमको मिलेगा TB temperature, boiling point of the solution, right? Delta, this is nothing but delta T. Delta T is TB minus TB naught. Where is delta B is an increase in boiling point. जो boiling point बढ़ गया, that is known as elevation of boiling point, right? अगर हम एक ग्लास के अंदर पानी के अंदर नॉर्मल पहले पानी को गर्म किया, उसका boiling point आया 100. Now if we add a 1 tablespoon of salt and then if we boil, what will happen? boiling point will rise little bit, 100.1 degree आ जाएगा. तो that 0.1 degree increase is known as delta T. बराबर. तो delta T for dilute solution from the experiment it is proved that, क्या प्रूव हुआ है कि delta TB is directly proportional to molality of solution, right? That is delta TB is equals to KBM. KB को क्या कहते हैं? KB is boiling point elevation constant. ये ध्यान रखो, constant वर्ड आएगा, elevation constant वर्ड आएगा तभी numerical में you have to take KB, right? Second, it is also known as ebullioscopic constant. Unit for KB is Kelvin kg per mole, right? Now पुटिंग द वैल्यू, मोलालिटी की फॉर्मूला यहाँ पे रखेंगे तो क्या आता है? मास अपॉन मोलर मास ऑफ सॉल्यूट इनटू 1000 अपॉन मास ऑफ सॉल्वेंट. ऑलवेज याद रखो, मैंने कहा था सॉल्यूशंस के अंदर 2 का मतलब होता है सॉल्यूट एंड 1 का मतलब होता है सॉल्वेंट. तो ये मास W2 अपॉन M2 इज इक्वल 1000 अपॉन M1. नाउ नेक्स्ट colligative property is depression of freezing point. What do you mean by freezing point? Freezing point means a dynamic equilibrium between solid and liquid phase, right? वो आप लोगों ने equilibrium पढ़ा था. Second, इसका मतलब ये भी होगा, it also means that vapor pressure of solid is equals to the vapor pressure of लिक्विड स्टेट. तो इन दोनों का वेपर प्रेशर क्या होगा? इक्वल. दैट इज नोन एज फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट, राइट? तो अगर हम देखेंगे TF, अगर प्योर सॉल्वेंट है, प्योर सॉल्वेंट का क्या होगा? फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट ज्यादा होगा. एज यू एड सॉल्यूट इन इट डिक्रीजेस. जैसे वहां पे डिक्रीज होता है, इंक्रीज होता है बॉइलिंग पॉइंट में, यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा? फर्दर डिक्रीजेस. अगर आइस के अंदर नमक डाल देंगे तो उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट क्या हो जाएगा? जीरो की जगह माइनस समथिंग, राइट? -2, -3, -5 ऐसा हो जाएगा. इट फर्दर डिक्रीजेस. तो यही आप देखेंगे. और जहां पे वेपर प्रेशर दोनों का इक्वल होता है, राइट, वो हम मेजर करेंगे. तो इक्वल होगा तो यहाँ देखेंगे टेम्परेचर, वहां पे टेम्परेचर का कितना हुआ? दैट टेम्परेचर इज प्योर का क्या है? ज्यादा है कंपेयर टू सॉल्यूशन, राइट? तो अब देख TF इजिकल्स टू, ये ध्यान रखना, एलिवेशन में बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट है, बढ़ता है इसलिए TB पीछे आता है, TB नॉट पीछे आता है, यहाँ पे TBF नॉट पहले आता है, राइट? डिप्रेशन इन फ्रीजिंग पॉइंट. नाउ फ्रॉम द डाइल्यूट सॉल्यूशन, जैसे पहले कहते थे वैसे ही है. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? डेल्टा TF direct proportional to molality, and that is equals to delta TF is equals to KF into M, where KF is freezing point depression constant, molar depression constant. वहां पे भी मोलर एलिवेशन कांस्टेंट था, यहाँ पे क्या है? मोलर डिप्रेशन कांस्टेंट, क्रायोस्कोपिक कांस्टेंट, राइट? इट्स यूनिट सेम यूनिट है दोनों की, केल्विन kg पर मोल. वंस अगेन यहाँ पे इन प्लेस ऑफ KB की जगह KF लिखना है. एवरीथिंग इज सेम. टू फाइंड द मोलर मास फाइंड करना है या मास फाइंड करना है, वी हैव टू यूज दिस. द वैल्यू ऑफ KB एंड KF व्हिच डिपेंड्स ऑन द नेचर ऑफ सॉल्वेंट कैन बी obtained by the formula, right? You already know the all terms. Only new terms are delta H of fusion and delta H of vaporization. That is enthalpy of fusion and enthalpy of vaporization. Last colligative property is osmotic pressure. For that we must know what is SPM, semi-permeable membrane. That is a membrane which allows only to pass solvent particles through it is known as semi-permeable membrane. There are two types of semi-permeable membrane, that is natural as well as artificial. Artificial are parchment paper, cellophane and freshly precipitated of inorganic compound. Natural, सबका bladder, right? Bladder, mostly pig's bladder is used for a semi-permeable membrane in our daily use. And outer skin of our body is also acts as a semi-permeable membrane. CuFeCN6 is the best artificially prepared semi-permeable membrane. Now our next topic is osmosis. What is osmosis? Osmosis is the process when a semi-permeable membrane is kept between the two different concentrated solution. Then solvent particle will flow from dilute या तो lower concentration to the higher concentration side. Or if a solvent and a solution is kept, then the particle will flow from solvent to the solution. That process is called osmosis. And this process continues till the equilibrium is reached. Right? There are many examples of osmosis. If we take a resin and if we put in a water, as the concentration in the resin is more inside than the outer, and the cell of the resin act as the wall of the resin, the skin of the resin will act as a semi-permeable membrane. So what will happen? The solvent particles will pass through it inside the resin, and after some time you will find resin will swell. Right? Second process, the plants. What? They absorb water from the soil and reaches different part of the plant. This is also example of osmosis. And the third, if any person takes more of salt, then what happens? Water retention property is there of the cell. So tissue will absorb lot of water. Due to that, the body will swell, and that is known as edema. Right? These are the examples of the osmosis in daily life we see. Now, what is osmotic? The minimum pressure applied on the solution side or on the higher concentrated side when a semi-permeable membrane is placed between solvent and solution or higher concentration and lower concentration. Pressure applied towards the solution side to stop the flow of solvent particle from solvent to the solution. This pressure is known as osmotic pressure. Experimentally, it is proved that for a dilute solution, osmotic pressure is directly proportional to the concentration. Concentration in terms of molarity, right? Pi is the osmotic pressure, C is the concentration, that is molarity, R is the gas constant. If we take pressure in terms of atmosphere, you have to take R 8.21 10⁻². If we take pressure of 1 bar, then R is 8.31 10⁻², right? T is temperature in terms of Kelvin. Now to find the mass or molar mass of the solute, the formula is mass upon molar mass of solute into 1000 upon volume of solution in ml into R into T. There are different osmotic pressure depending on different concentration. If the osmotic pressure of the two solutions are same, that is known as isoosmotic or isotonic. But if they have different osmotic pressure, then there are two types. The one having more osmotic pressure is known as hypertonic, other which is less is known as hypotonic. Now, the fluid in our blood cell is isotonic with 0.91 W/W NaCl solution, that is equals to 0.1 molar H2SO4 and 0.3 molar glucose solution. So this all are isotonic solution. Now if we put our blood cell in the solution which is less than 0.91 concentration W/W NaCl, then as the concentration outside is less than the inner blood cell, so the solvent from the NaCl will flow in the blood cell, and so our blood cell will burst. Now if we put our blood cell in higher concentration more than 0.91 W/W NaCl solution, then reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is the process in which larger pressure is applied on solution side so that the solvent particle from the solution will pass through semi-permeable membrane towards solvent side. Right? This process is also used in purification of water. The reverse osmosis is used as desalination of seawater. For that, very high pressure is required. and cellulose acetate is used as a semi-permeable membrane. Right? Nowadays, many countries used has a desalination plant for potable water. Now, for the ideal solution, we can find mass and molar mass of solute present in the solution using Raoult's law, elevation of boiling point, depression freezing point, or osmotic pressure. But the best method is osmotic pressure. For polymers as well as for the biomolecules, the methods used to determine the mass or molar mass of a solute is osmotic pressure, because here we are using molarity, right? And the values obtained is we can calculate properly, otherwise it's very difficult for the other by using other methods. The values are very small, negligible, so it's very difficult to calculate, and so best method is osmotic pressure method to determine the molecular mass of a solute. There are different type of solute present in nature. They are electrolyte, non-electrolyte, right? They may undergo association, may undergo dissociation in a solution. Now, if we form a solution using a non-electrolyte solute, that is like urea, glucose, or sucrose, they will form an ideal solution. But when we take a NaCl and dissolve in water, then they will form Na plus and Cl minus ion. They will dissociate into ions, right? So instead of one whole particle, we get two different ions. And as our colligative property depends upon the number of solute particle. So as solute increases, there is an effect. That is, vapor pressure will be decreased, freezing point will decrease, boiling point will increase, osmotic pressure will increase than our expectation, right? And molecular mass obtained by using the formulas will get less. So, because colligative property is inversely proportional to the molar mass of the solute. Now, if a molecules like acetic acid or benzoic acid, when a solution is prepared in a benzene, then these molecules will undergo dimerization. Means two molecules will unite to form one molecule, right? So what will happen? Once again, colligative property depends on the number of solute particles. यहाँ पे solute particles क्या हो गया? Decreases, and so vapor pressure will increase, freezing point will increase, osmotic pressure and boiling point will decrease, and molar mass जो obtain करते by this formula will get more, right? Now you can see that when acetic acid is dissolved in benzene, it dimerizes, right? RCOOH twice. This forms a hydrogen bond, and one molecule is converted into two molecules combined to form a one molecule, right? So it undergoes association. So our molar mass will be more than the expected, right? So to calculate the extent of association or dissociation in a solution, Van 't Hoff has introduced a factor known as I. I is Van 't Hoff factor, which is equals to normal molar mass upon abnormal molar mass, या तो observed colligative property upon calculated colligative property, total number of moles of particles after association or dissociation upon number of moles of particle before association or dissociation. So now our formula will change to find the mass or molar mass of the solute. Always in the formula you have to multiply it with I, right? If I is equals to 1, you will find its ideal solution. If I is less than 1, then association occurs, and if I is more than 1, then dissociation. Now if I increases or concentration increases or I2 increases, then vapor pressure will decrease, freezing point will decrease, boiling point will increase, and osmotic pressure will increase. To find degree of dissociation or degree of association, the formula is alpha is equals to I minus 1 upon n minus 1. A is equals to 1 minus I n upon n minus 1, where I is the Van 't Hoff factor and n is the number of particles which combine to associate or number of particles obtained due to differentiation.